And we are live, up and running, and I am thrilled. We're all thrilled and pumped to be with you guys. Good morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you're tuning in on a Friday. I know a lot of people around the world. Maybe we got people from Europe watching. I doubt Australia. I think they're in bed right now. I don't remember what the time is over there. People in America as well, all over the world, Mexico, España, Europa, everywhere. Guys, we're thrilled and pumped to have you here. Very excited, and we are blessed to have the brother Tony, who is a near and dear friend of our channel. He's a friend of the Apocalypse, and he collaborates with us very often. We're very happy to have him here. Indeed, I want to give a shout-out very briefly to Tony, and he deserves much more than just a brief shout-out. But I want to give him a shout-out because a lot of people don't realize that the debate that David and myself had on the Deuterocanon, I reached out to Tony before that debate. I said, Tony, can I use your phenomenal slides when touching upon the early fathers? Tony was very gracious, didn't mind at all, and I used the slides. So if you guys like those slides during the debate, I've got a lot. We owe a lot to Tony. He was great, and we love having him here. With that being said, Brother Gary, how you been, my friend? How you doing today?
Hey, thrilled and pumped. Been looking forward to this for a little while. So, yeah, I'm doing great.
Awesome. David, how you been, my man? What's going on with you? What are you up to?
Yeah, I was looking forward to the show. And yeah, I'm thrilled and pumped as well because this is going to be a very good presentation, I think, on the North African councils. I like the topic very well. But here's the thing, William.
You don't like it, you love it.
Next time, we need to bring the cat on.
We do, man. She just ran past me and bit my foot and then ran. But you know what? I gotta give a shout out. I don't know if he's here. He is. I want to give a shout out to our phenomenal editor. I cannot take credit for any of the amazing icons or thumbnails, guys. I am not that good. This is first rate, guys. This is great, man. Shout out to our amazing editor. He's not good. He is the best. He's phenomenal. Guys, that looks great, man. I mean, if you guys ever wanted to have we got 8-packs, guys. We got 8-packs, man. Yeah, man. But the cat looks as well behaved as ever, and she's never that well behaved. But you guys are great. Want to give a shout out to our phenomenal editor. Great job there. Happy to be here, Tony, my man. How you've been? What has been going on in your neck of the woods? Thank you for being here, brother. What is up with you?
Yeah, I'm honored to be here. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I just been trying to crank out, as many videos as I can between work and family and vacation during the summer. So it's was happy to be able to crank this one out and get y'all's feedback on it.
Great stuff. I was able to check it out before uploading it, and yeah, I've got it right here. Now, if you want to upload it in your end, or I can upload it, whatever is easier for you, brother. What do you want to do?
Well,
you
let's
can
see.
Control it as well. I just gave you permissions. You can control it as well.
Okay. So I can share screen, or I can just upload it. Is that how it works?
Yeah. You can upload or share, whatever's easier for you, brother. Definitely whatever's easier for you. So. In the meantime, I'll give a shout out. We have a great crowd. We have a lot of people that love the faith that are regulars here. We got Rover. We got Glory to God. Glory to Lord God. Powell, how you doing, Powell? Hollywood Big Boss. My man Talas, one of my favorite heretics. Moderator Byzantine. Cathal, how you doing, Cathal? How's the cat doing? A lot of great people here. We got a great crowd. If I didn't give you a shout out, it's only because we got a lot of messages. But you guys, we got somebody from Puerto Rico. Very cool. A lot of people coming in. This is great audience. Jesus Christ reigns. Talos, who has been a member for a month. Shout out to you, brother. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Did that work? Did you get it to work, Tony?
Well, it says it's processing.
Okay, it'll come up right now. It'll come up.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That is more of an issue with StreamYard. Takes a little bit of time. And we got Cincinnati in the house. We got people from all over tuning in. We love it. We love it, guys. Thank you for being here. You guys are amazing. Thank you for being here. Shout out to you, Random Catholic, who sent the super chat over there at the Apocalypse. I just need for Gary to cringe in embarrassment that I'm sending him money again. Random Catholic, God bless you, my friend. Thank you for your support. You guys are phenomenal, guys. There you go, Tony. You got it right there, brother. There you go.
All right.
All right. Very good. Well, I guess I'll jump right into it then. So
Definitely, yeah.
So these
before you jump in, let's let the audience know, what are we looking at today? Tell the audience first. What are we looking at today? What is the show about?
Yeah. So we're looking at the North African councils of Hippo and Carthage. These councils happened in the late 4th and early 5th centuries. And these particular councils accepted the exact Catholic biblical canon, which would include the Deuterocanonical books, that were removed from Protestant Bibles starting around the early 19th century, with those videos that Gary has done on those Bible societies. So these councils are very important to the Catholic case for the canon, the Catholic canon. And what I've noticed is that often Protestants will just try to dismiss these councils as merely local councils. And so this presentation is basically to say that's just not the case. Okay, so at the very least, we should say that these councils were regional, because they were Carthage in particular kind of represented the region of North Africa, but we can go even further than that. As we'll see, these councils and their particular decrees, including the Biblical Canon Decree, received widespread and official acceptance in the Universal Church. So that's what we're going to discuss.
And, to add very briefly, I want to give you a shout out there. This is a very important topic because very often this does come up in dialogue. This is an area where Gary has done phenomenal work, and indeed give a shout out to Gary. If you guys want to know more about these issues, Gary has written a number of phenomenal books on the topic, and the brother David has done a great job as well, showing how indeed those canonical lists are identical in later councils. So this is a very important topic for people that may be wondering, what do you guys mean when we talk about the North African Code, the North African councils, and why are they important? And a lot of the times people will say, well, that's just a local one. What does that matter? So we're going to be diving into today. How important are these local councils? Tony, I want to give you another thank you again for doing such a great job here, brother. I'm excited to see what you got here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I want to reaffirm the shout out to David. So if you're hearing these myths and rumors that the North African Council does not have the same canon as the Catholic Church, go check out David's videos where he's thoroughly debunking those sorts of claims. So want to preempt any sort of claims being made on that front. The other thing is, I don't think any piece of Protestant evidence can match up to this piece of evidence in terms of the universal acceptance of the North African Code. I know that Protestants will appeal to early lists, they'll appeal to the Jews, but we've addressed all those as well. But this is a force to be reckoned with, these North African councils.
Completely agree.
All right. So I just want to give a little context about how this video and this presentation came about. So if y'all remember, I went back, and so it was on June 6th that I jumped on a live stream with y'all, and I asked you, what is the evidence that the biblical canon of these North African councils was universally accepted? And so I'd encourage everyone to go back and look up that live stream, because that's where all this started, where the first pieces of information for this presentation came from. The answers given by Gary, William, and David were great. And so, so this video, this presentation is motivated by that, to really flesh all those answers out and give the receipts as much as possible.
That's good. That's what we do here at the Apocryphal Apocalypse and Patristic Pillars. We like to come with the receipts, and we like to come with the evidence. There we go. By the way, look at that. There it is. Guys, if you don't have the case for the Deuterocanon yet, where's he been? Where you been hiding, guys?
Yep. Yeah. So as I said, the councils of Hippo and Carthage are in the late 4th, 5th century, 393, 397, 419. But before we jump into some of the main evidence, I just want to reaffirm that, maybe you think that this is too late in terms of the evidence. And so, in terms of determining the correct canon. And if that's what you're thinking, I've got you covered because I've got some videos that I've got on my channel, and also presentations that we've done on this channel that go even earlier into the Jewish evidence, as well as the early church fathers, and how they are quoting the Deuterocanon as inspired scripture. So just want to make sure I'm covering all my bases before I get into the meat of this. So check out those videos either on my channel or on the other live streams where we talk about the Jewish reception and then rejection, as well as the early church fathers. And I'm also looking forward to Gary's next lineup of chill streams, where he's going to be looking at the apostolic fathers. You know me, I love that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So one last piece of intro before we get into the meat. So when I got on that live stream back in June, one of the things that Gary did was he sent to me some more information that is even earlier than the North African councils. Just a list of some earlier popes and Eastern councils that are citing the Deuterocanon. None of these are giving us a list, but I think that it's important to just acknowledge that this evidence is there as well. I'm not going to go through each one of these one by one, but it should show that the canon coming out of North Africa was not new. It was not innovative. And so it has precedent among the popes and even the Eastern councils. So we got representation from Rome, Alexandria, and Antioch, even potentially from the First Ecumenical Council of Nicaea, though it seems a little difficult to track down hard details on that. But so anyway, if we look even earlier, a little earlier than Hippo and Carthage, we're seeing evidence that's favoring the Deuterocanon. All right. Any other questions, comments before we get into the
I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. And let me let the audience know, guys, on both channels, we have pinned the link. If you want to come back here, pick all of our brains, pick Tony's brain, David, Gary, myself, or you have a general question about the North African Code or the canon in general. Guys, these shows we're doing, they're for you. We're doing them for you, and we want to help you be able to defend your faith. Indeed, there's a lot of intersect here. If you are Catholic, you're going to get a lot out of it. If you're Orthodox, whether it be Oriental or Eastern, you're going to get a ton out of it as well, because we're doing the show to show you the apostolic pedigree of our canon. So we're thrilled. We're thrilled and pumped to be here with you guys. Don't hesitate to come back here, guys. Do not hesitate. We'd love to have you. Just if you come back here, be patient. Allow us to continue with the presentation. Every now and then we'll pause. We'll bring you up if you got something on your mind. Go ahead, brother.
All right. So, yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't look like StreamYard likes my long title there, but we'll make do, I think.
Did you upload it as a PowerPoint or PDF?
I uploaded it as a PowerPoint, actually.
Yeah, it'll glitch with the PowerPoint. PDFs don't glitch. PowerPoints do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so if you want me to, I can add the PDF. If you want, I can put it up there and I can control it for you. Because look, let me show you. Okay. If you look at the difference,
okay.
See, that's PDF. That's PowerPoint.
Okay.
That's why I asked you for the PDF earlier. I don't know why it does that. StreamYard will always glitch with the PowerPoint. So there's no worry, brother. I can control it. There's no worry at all.
Okay. Yeah, let's go to the cleaner version. That's fine. Okay. All right. So here's what we're going to cover. We're going to start off with Pope Innocent, who is writing even in the midst of the North African councils, 405 AD. We'll move on to the Decree of Gelasius. And throughout this, we're gonna hear testimony from Protestant historians too, that are conceding that the African Code, which contains the Catholic Biblical Canon, that this African code was incorporated into the canon law of the Universal Church, East and West, by the late 6th century at the very latest, but with even some solid evidence that it was translated into Greek and was being used in the East even earlier by at least the mid 6th century. So we'll go over that as well. And while there is some more speculative evidence maybe before the mid 6th century, we're going to focus on kind of the most hard evidence that I could find. But obviously there's some citations at the ecumenical councils that are going on. There's also the meteoric rise of the authority of Augustine in the East as well, that lends some credibility to even earlier usage in the East. But again, we'll stick to some hard evidence here with starting with the Council of Constantinople III in 681, providing yet another milestone on the way to the most explicit embrace of the African code in the East, which would be the Council of Trullo. And then we'll wrap it up with the evidence from some later ecumenical councils of Nicaea II and Florence. So just want to highlight here, we got popes, we got councils, ecumenical councils, and we are basically hitting evidence that's coming right after the North African councils occurred in the 5th century, in the 6th century, and the 7th century, even through the 8th with Nicaea II. Okay, we'll move on to the next one then. All right, so we've got Pope Innocent here. So considering that the judgments of Rome have always been binding on the Universal Church, that's what we believe as Catholics, then Pope Innocent would be the first earliest piece of evidence of the universal reception of the biblical canon that was decreed at the North African councils. And so we've got his letter to Bishop Exuperius of Toulouse in 405 AD, and it provides the exact biblical canon of the North African councils. Though he doesn't appear to mention those councils explicitly, this letter does have a match to that canon. And this is, of course, the same Innocent that Jerome appeals to in another letter when he says, follow Innocent in everything. So pointing to Rome, pointing to the papacy. But we also have some letters that he sent to the African bishops. And at least one of those letters seems to approve of the two African synods generally, and to affirm their value for all the churches throughout the world. So I've reproduced the text from one of those letters here. And I guess one caveat I would say, so while the major focus of these synods and this particular letter is to condemn Pelagianism, they also include and affirm the Catholic biblical canon, which includes the Deuterocanonical books. So here we can see Pope Innocent basically praising these two synods and their usefulness for the whole world, for the entire church. And so at the very least, I would say, from this piece of evidence, we can see that the North African councils was affirmed in the entire West. Now, we're just getting started with the evidence here, but at the very least, if you don't think the Pope, was head of the Universal Church, if you think he was just the patriarch of the West, the head of the West, then we've at least got you covered here very quickly after the North African councils. Any thoughts, questions, any corrections? I mean, I'm an amateur here, so if there's something that's a little off, just feel free to jump in and correct it. So.
No, I love it. I love this. Yeah, this is great here. In particular, look, Pope Saint Innocent I he's a great early witness, and yeah, I agree with everything here. there's really not much to add other than it's very difficult to get around this. This is a very powerful indicator, and I'd love to hear Gary and David's thoughts if they have any. This is a very powerful indicator of just exactly how Rome, and i.e. the head of the Universal Church, perceived the African canons, meaning not merely as a local memory, but, pretty much as the exemplar to be consulted. That really does show that the North African Code really does rise above, just holding a kind of, local provenance. It really does have much more than just that. And any thoughts to add to that, Gary or David?
No, I'd say the only thing that's a little off is me, but I'm always a little off. The only thing I'd add with Pope Innocent, remember, there's also that connection with Jerome. In that Bishop Eusebius was a patron of Jerome. In fact, Jerome dedicates a book to him. And it's interesting that he's the one that pings Rome apparently to find out what's the true and authentic canon. So I find that to be interesting that, it's very tempting to read between the lines. And, he was certainly was abreast of Jerome's prophecies where he says they're not canonical. One wonders whether he pings Rome precisely because he wasn't quite sure about Jerome's opinions. That's about it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, certainly. And I would just perhaps also add that besides Innocent I, who is incredibly important, of course, it was expected that even other popes would affirm the North African councils, the decisions, right? Because the decrees were sent to the Bishop of Rome from both the Council of Hippo and Carthage 397. And ultimately in 419, the name of the bishop is given. The Bishop of Rome is given. It's Pope Boniface. And so it's really not just Pope Innocent, but we have multiple popes, actually, which would approve the decrees of the council. So we have multiple attestations, even in this regard. And I just wanted to ask you, Tony, about this epistle 182, which you had on the slide. Which is this? Where do we have this epistle from?
Yeah, so I will put the link in the private chat if I can. And I'll let y'all double check my sources here for sure. Let me see if I can put in the private chat there. I think this is the one. Yeah, I got it from
Sorry about that, guys. I'm back.
You're back.
I'm back.
Went ahead. I went ahead and uploaded my own PDF.
Gotcha. There you go.
Okay, good deal.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, let me see here. Oh, that's Bishop Exuperus. Let me get the other.
Sure. While you do that, I want to give a shout out to a few super chats we've gotten. Shout out to Cathal Ryan, and I hope my audio is okay. My audio should be fine. Cathal, brother, God bless you for your support, my friend. Give a shout out to Cathal Ryan, who gifted memberships, and Matthew, Rura, Dallas Thomas, Love Speech, and the Seed of Faith, God gifted memberships. Cathal, God bless you, my man, for your support, brother. Thank you so much for your support. And we'll go to one more. Talos, before these vanish, because these, I don't know why, they'll vanish if you don't, well, at least for me and my end. Talos, brother, God bless you. Hope your weekend is phenomenal, brother. And who got gifted membership? Rich, who was calling out Gary the other day and was teasing me. Rich got gifted a membership. CHX Rub, Mango Bango, Rosarium, two of our favorite heretics and moderators. And Cage, you guys, give a shout out to Talos, guys. Talos, thank you for your phenomenal support. Guys, you guys are phenomenal. Sorry about that crashing there. I don't know what happened. It was my browser. I got to update my browser, guys. Go ahead, Tony. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. I guess let me catch
there you
up
go.
to
There you go. You
the
got that.
slide we need to be on. Okay. Very good. Yeah, I mean, I don't have the best access to primary sources. So I did my best to kind of track down this epistle 182 to see if it was authentic. So I think I have a pretty high degree of confidence, but I will let y'all track that one down.
So it's an epistle from Pope Innocent.
Yes.
To the Council of Milan.
Yes. I think there were a couple of letters. And then this one is, Council of Milevis. Where he's commending them for their councils and the benefit that they're providing. And again, I think the context is primarily Pelagianism and condemning it. But of course, these canons include the biblical canon, those decrees. So, I think it's a little indirect, but it's still there, and it's still evidence.
Yeah, because it's quite interesting. I never thought about this epistle actually. So, yeah, I just wanted to highlight it. So good job.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
it's very
okay.
Good. Very, very good.
So let's move right along then. So I want to move on to a quote from a famous Protestant scholar here. We got F.F. Bruce, and for those who doubt that the North African councils were anything more than just local or regional or Western, here we have F.F. Bruce, his book The Canon of Scripture, where he admits that the North African biblical canon represented the general consensus of the churches. He also says that these were the very first church councils to make a formal pronouncement on the canon, and that these councils did not impose any innovation on the churches. And I believe, Gary, you were the one who pointed me in the direction of him. I think you may have even quoted him on that live stream back in June where I had asked my questions about the North African code. I found the source for that, and I think this is I think we said it was a money quote right here, so I couldn't decline not to include it here. I think it's pretty powerful.
Yeah, I'll second that. There's no doubt he is a very well-respected historian. To call it a money quote, you're right on the money there. And this kind of validation that we get from F.F. Bruce, in my opinion, and Gary, if you want to add anything to it, to me, it strengthens the argument. It really, he does hammer home the point that this is important. And for scholarly audiences, this is great corroboration. Really, really good. And F.F. Bruce, his name comes up very often. Very often in dialogues about anything regarding the patristic sources or the canonical sources. I mean, he's going to come up very often. So is Schaff. So I think, if anything, what it does is really does strengthen the balance of the argument. I think it's a great, great quote there.
Yeah. Moreover, notice he says first church councils. In other words, F.F. Bruce himself would also not believe that this canon of Laodicea is genuine, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's implicit in his statement. I would assume. Yeah.
That's a pretty good point there. Really good point there.
Okay. Should we keep moving along here?
Absolutely. We get anybody back here? Guys, remember, we are doing this for you guys. If you have anything, you want clarification, if you're Catholic, okay, how does this relate to the canon of today? We'll deal with it. Ask any question in your mind. If you're Orthodox, you say, okay, how does this, does this show the pedigree of our larger, bigger Bible? Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. Do not hesitate to come back here. We'd love to dialogue with you. But be patient, because we're going through a presentation. We will eventually get to you. And we want to remember the brother V. Right now, he said his niece's fiance is undergoing head surgery. So we do pray for her. We pray for her. And before the show is over, We're going to pray for her again. We're going to remember her before the show is over. I want to say, everybody, hopefully you can join us in praying for, for praying for his, let me double check who that is. His niece's fiance, and we will do so. Brother V, God bless you, brother. We'll definitely remember and pray in just a moment as well. We'll remember her again before we're done. Go ahead, Brother Tony.
All right. Yeah, so this next piece of evidence we have here for the universal acceptance of the Catholic canon, as found in the North African Councils, comes from the 5th century decree of Gelasius, which I have here. It reads, "Now indeed the issue of the divine scriptures must be discussed, which the universal Catholic Church receives, or which it is required to avoid." And then he goes on to list the books that we find in the North African Councils, including the Deuterocanon. So while, again, not explicitly mentioning the North African Council specifically, again, it does give a list of canonical books that matches up exactly with the canon of the North African Councils. And I want to highlight here, Gelasius refers to the canon which the universal Catholic Church receives. Not just Africa, not just Rome, but the whole church. So I would say that this is probably the earliest, most explicit reference of the entire worldwide church accepting this list of books, the Universal Catholic Church, both East and West, explicitly making that connection. I think there's obviously earlier evidence that is highly indicative in terms of the Deuterocanon being included and included in the canon list, but this is a pretty strong and explicit reference here. So, yeah, any thoughts, comments, questions?
Any thoughts from you, Gary or David? I've got nothing to add on this point.
No, me neither.
And Gary is
All right.
unmute. I don't know if Gary's unmute. I don't know if he
Sorry,
says something.
I'm trying not to annoy people. So
All
maybe
right, no worries, no worries.
Yeah, now is
No
this
worries.
the Galatian Decree that's like Hermisdas, the questionable one? Is that what you're quoting here, or are you? Do you know what I'm talking about? The famed pseudo Gelasius.
Yeah, so it would be pseudo Gelasius. Let's just make that that distinction in case people are wondering. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got this from. I try not to give too much traffic to Tertullian.org, but yeah, I got it
Got
from
some good stuff there. It's got some good stuff there.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I figure, if it's a non-Catholic source, that's it's good enough for my purposes, I guess.
Yeah. Guys,
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn the camera for a moment. I'll be back in about 1 minute.
Okay. All right. So let's move on to another testimony from a Protestant historian here. So we've got Philip Schaff and company admitting that the African Code, which again included the Catholic canon, was always in greatest repute in all the churches, and that the canons of these African councils were inserted into the ancient code, both of the Eastern and Western churches. So again, this is Protestant affirmation and testimony to the universal acceptance of these North African councils, which again would include their biblical canon. So we've got F.F. Bruce, we've got Schaff. So I think we're in good company here, if I do say so myself. Okay, I'll keep moving along if there's no comments there. So I thought I would go ahead and reproduce a slide here with Charles Mounier and his modern critical edition of the canons and acts of the African councils. Here in his preamble, translated by Roger Pierce, Mounier says, among the documents of the law of the ancient churches, the canons of the African councils hold no small place. And then for those which made their way not only into the collections of the West, but also from Latin copies translated into Greek, were admitted into the sources of Byzantium law. For by the decision of the council at Trullo, which was in 692, the Synod of Carthage, 419, with excerpts from the register of that church, was approved. Okay, so we have Latin copies, obviously, of these North African councils. They got translated into Greek, and from there were admitted into Byzantine canon law, and thus approved at the latest by the Council of Trullo. But as we're going to see, I wanted to do some even deeper dives into when were these canons translated into Greek. I don't know if y'all remember, but I think I jumped on a live stream. I think it was only you, Gary, and David on that particular team stream. And I asked, what do we know when these canons were translated into Greek? Because I was already working on this presentation, so I wanted to pick your brains. And so I think you had mentioned, maybe reach out to Father Kappas. And so I did pick up William's book and Father Kappas's book for this presentation. And so I was able to get pointed in the right direction.
How do you like it? How do you like it?
It's good. It's good. It's got a lot of different pieces of information.
Yeah.
And I like how y'all try to piece the puzzle together, because it seems like that's what we're dealing with a lot of the times is, some of the evidence is very circumstantial or suggestive, but if Definitely. You put it all together and you make sense of it, I think it makes a good cumulative case. So yeah, I will definitely be plugging the book explicitly later in this presentation.
Thank you for that, brother. Shout out to AB. AB says that David needs to say blah blah blah. I think everybody likes that, brother. You got to say it, brother. You got to say it.
Was he supposed to say it in Chaldean, Hungarian, or Argentinian?
I don't know, man. I don't know. AB, God bless you for your support over there at the Apocryphal Apocalypse. And Tom Maturo as well over there at the Apocryphal Apocalypse. God bless you guys. Yes, definitely. And shout out to AB for your phenomenal support. Yes, for V, whose family member is having crucial surgery right now. May Saint Raphael intercede for her. All maladies must leave at Jesus' bidding. Much love. Yes, all of us. And we will remember as well to pray again before the show does end, guys. God bless you. We'll continue with the presentation in a moment. We'll take a little break from the presentation because we've got some really good questions that are pouring in. They are very, very good. But let's continue for a bit.
Okay. So I want to continue with Schaff here. So he does also make mention that these canons of the North African councils were translated into Greek, but he says that, there's uncertainty when these canons of the Carthaginian Synod were translated or done into Greek, when exactly that happened. But again, like Mounier, he says that at the very least, before the Council of Trullo in 692. So again, not much new evidence here, but yet a reaffirmation that yes, they were translated into Greek, and at least by the late 7th century. But we can do better than that. So we'll move on to the next slide here. And I want to give another shout out to William and Father Kappas's book, because it was that book that pointed me in the direction of this particular scholar, this particular source, Heinz Ohme. Yep. So he's a German scholar, evangelical Lutheran pastor is what I found on Wikipedia. And apparently he can do better than Mounier and Schaff, because he points out that there is good evidence that Justinian had Greek copies of the North African Code by about the year 550 AD. Yeah. So we have Justinian writing a letter that contains a verbatim citation of Canon 81 from the African code here. And so at least the entire body of African canons is showing up in the Greek canonical collections toward the end of the 6th century. So he has this document here, the Syntagma 14 Titulorum here. But we have evidence that paves the way for further authoritative affirmations of the North African Code and its biblical canon here. So, yeah, we see that the name of the letter from Justinian, I guess, is Epistola Adversas Theodorum Mopsuestinum. And so, yeah, this scholar Ome is dating it to about 550 AD.
And I think that's enormous. I really do. That piece of evidence is big because, and I'd love to get your thoughts, Gary and David. It clearly shows early Eastern awareness. So when we look at the evidence, if the imperial chancery, if they possessed translations that were sufficient for Justinian citation, well, that clearly, what does that mean for Byzantine law and for the Eastern, juridical memory? It means very clearly that you have a bridge here between the Latin and the Greek spheres, and it's very early on, very, very, very early on, rather than merely the canard that we hear today very often, Gary, that, well, that's only in the Latin church. That's only in the Latin church. Okay, but there was no widespread acceptance in the Eastern church. That doesn't work. When you actually dive into the historical information, that kind of an argument really doesn't work at all. And I think that, as the scholar points out, and as the firsthand testimony, the evidence shows there's a very powerful argument for universality of the canon. That is our main argument. Indeed, the book that we put together on the canon, that is the beating heart, the beating thesis of it, looking for unity in East and West. And I don't think I've ever encountered an Orthodox that have said, well, no, we don't agree with that. A lot of the ones that I've dialogued with, including a lot of our great moderators, will completely agree in terms of the fatter, larger biblical canon that we have. So I think that's a great, great source there. I'd love to hear your thoughts, though, Gary or David.
Yeah, that's a great find. I totally agree. And you nailed down the date, and it's a very important reception of the Greek text. Of course, this would be even earlier, right? Because it still has to be transmitted, get to Justinian's hands. And that fits very well with Trullo, because Trullo just kind of collects things and approves them, right? It's not like working through all these texts. So yeah, that squares perfectly with what we find in Trullo as well. So that's awesome slide.
Yeah, this is an incredible source, and even particularly for the reason that Heinz Ome is not just a random guy here. He is really an incredible scholar. If you look at his publications,
yes,
he's incredible in Greek. He actually published the critical edition of Trullo Council. So this is a very, very strong scholar, affirmation of a very early translation of the North African Councils into Greek. As Gary pointed out, this is the latest date, right? So we would assume it was translated even earlier until it gets into Justinian's hands. And so this just demonstrates how really important the North African Councils were, not really just merely an North African for the North African region, or merely just for the West. So yeah, very good job here, and I really want to commend you to your work, William, in publishing this, and also Tony for that matter, including it here for the audience. Yeah, very good job.
Yeah, I found this scholar in one of the endnotes to William's book, and then I found the article that was being referred to, and then
by the way, just a little bit of a piece of information. If we do, hopefully soon, within a year or two, maybe finish volume number 2, that the Greek canon law, that source there, comes up a whole lot. So there's a whole lot more that we plan to put together in terms of the canon in the East. And that source does come up a whole lot. So there's a lot of evidence for the North African Code. There's a ton of evidence.
By the way, Heinz Homme published a whole book just on the word canon.
Are you kidding me? You're joking.
Yeah. A really thick book, just how the word canon was used throughout, you know.
And I'm betting you got that book. I bet you got it, man.
Of course I have.
I know you, man. I know you, man. You're a geek like all of us here, man. That's amazing. That's phenomenal, man.
Yeah, I mean, if this is just the latest it could be, I mean, we're getting close to like within a century, maybe, potentially, of the North African councils, depending on just how earlier, you know, before this particular letter, you know, this one instance. So, yeah, who knows if we find even more evidence that pushes the date back earlier. All right. So I want to milk this particular source for all it's worth, of course. So so we don't know the precise date or author of the Greek translation of the African Code, but we do have at least some sense of how it happened. So Ome confirms what seems to be the consensus theory that the Latin canonist Dionysius Exiguus is the source or basis on which these Greek translations were made. And so Ome points to various details supporting this, like the numeration, the ordering, and the literary dependency. So we have at least some sense of probably what the chain of custody is in terms of how these African canons made their way to the East, making their way first to Rome, of course, but then making their way into the Latin canons, and then probably being translated from Dionysius Exiguus. So wanted to close the loop there, or add another piece in the chain there for the provenance of this.
It's phenomenal.
Okay. So let's move on to Pope Agatho and the Sixth Ecumenical Council. So
I love it. That's a money one. That's a money one.
Absolutely. So I know you had mentioned this in the live stream where I had asked for the evidence, and of course found this in your book and Father Kappa's book here, and so gotta include it because yeah, it's a big one here. So we've got the Sixth Ecumenical Council, Constantinople III in 681. And we have that council accepting Pope Agatho's letter, which affirms the biblical canon of the reverenced synods, how it's translated here. And so what other synods could Agatho be referring to if not the North African synods, which dealt with the scriptural canon? So I'm not aware of any other synods that he could be referring to, you know, so I throw that out to anyone.
Gotta be that. Yeah, there's gotta be that. Good luck proving any other. It's gotta be that. There's no way around that. There's no way around it.
Yeah,
David, your thoughts on that? That definitely that's an enormous one, and I got to give all the credit for that find to Father Kappas. And I remember exactly where I was because a lot of the times when we were working on books, I fly over there, hang out with them for a few days, get to stay there at the seminary. And you know, we always pick each other's brains as we work on books together. And I got to give all credit. This is definitely a find from him, and it's a money one. It really is a big stack of money you put under your arm and you carry it around. This is a really big stack of money quote there, isn't it, David?
Yeah, of course it is. And I remember your debate with Father Ramsey, and you pulled this quote up, and he was just, you know,
nothing to do. He had nothing to do. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Gary, your thoughts, Gary?
Yeah, I like this too. Very, very cool. Yeah. Kudos to Father Kappas for hunting that down, because I haven't seen that. And, you know, I've read book after book on the canon, and I don't think I've seen that cited anywhere in all the discussions.
Yeah, definitely. Great quote. Let's look at a few super chats if you guys don't mind. Shout out to Apologist Night. Brother, God bless you for your support. You are phenomenal. And over there at the Apocrypha Apocalypse, I actually, did I give him? Yeah, I did. Tom Matura gave him a shout out. Chris Ilsey over there at the Apocrypha Apocalypse. Let me tell you guys are amazing. Your support allows us to do what we do, and we are thrilled and pumped and greatly appreciative of your support. Chris would like to ask, evening, gentlemen, if the 85th canon of the Apostolic Canon says third books of Maccabees, and this was reaffirmed at Trullo, before East and West split, did the West reject Trullo? And on what basis do we reject the 85th canon? Any thoughts on that, David? I'll throw the ball to you first.
Well, it was on the basis that it's not genuine.
Right.
It's not. It's
fake.
It's simply, yeah. So if I'm correct, only the first 50 canons were translated into Latin. The rest was rejected. So, but the 85th canon really doesn't help the East, because
At all.
it includes pseudo Clement, second Clement, right?
And you have to argue for the non-pseudonymity of them, which
Right.
you argue for that. And I don't know a living scholar that would agree with you on that at all.
Right.
So, there's a lot of problems there. I mean, and David, your barely second Nicaea did not have the 85th canon in mind when it absorbed any of those previous canons. It definitely did not have that in mind.
Even the constitutions themselves say that there are many forgeries that crept into this. So the Latins were correct on rejecting the 35 canons. Besides the first 50.
No doubt. Frank, God bless you, brother Frank, who is a goated member. Frank, you rock, my friend. Thank you for your support. And I believe you sent that super chat, which, by the way, guys, we don't miss any super chats. We get to all of them. Thank you for your support. I believe he's talking about the Pseudo-Gelasian Decree. Is it true that the Gelasian Decree is a composite document, has undergone many recensions, and not an original document in its entirety, specifically chapters off the top of my head? But yes, in terms of it having undergone recensions, that is definitely correct. And we would refer to it as the Pseudo-Gelasian Decree. That definitely is correct. Now, the one decree that is not pseudonymous, Frank, would be the one from Hormisdas. That one really is Pope Hormisdas. But the Gelasian Decree, yes, that one would we would qualify that as a pseudo-Gelasian Decree. But in terms of recensions in chapters 4 to 5, Gary, off the top of your head, do you know much about that? Chapters 4 to 5.
Sections 4 and 5, not off the top of my head. But I did do a video on that.
You did, yeah.
And David has his take on it as well. So I want to point that out. Yeah. But it's definitely problematic.
It is,
for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it nevertheless is a witness
sure.
of the thought of that time, and so it's worth what it is. But
sure,
it's got to be handled with care.
Yep. And when David does come back, Frank, I'll pick his brain a little bit more on, particularly in chapters 4 to 5. Off the top of my head, it's very likely, as it has undergone many recensions, and it is a pseudonymous. It is not have undergone some, some perhaps alterations or additions later as well. Holly, we want to go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I think part of the problem, if I remember correctly, is that it's citing it's citing later sources.
That's correct. Yeah.
So it couldn't be authentic. It has to be a later edition.
Yeah. No, there's no doubt about that. I agree. Hollywood Big Boss, who is a member over there at the Apocrypha Apocalypse, is going to give him a shout out and thank you so much for your support to Hollywood Big Boss. And he said that he'll catch it later. I love his icon. And guys, I like you guys have got phenomenal icons, man. It's great. I'll support my man. Oh, look at that image, man. Look at that. He's got you there. I got to get a hold of that one, man. That's a good one, Gary. That's a good one, man.
Yeah, that is
But
good. I wonder if
you-
that's from James Divine Mercy Apologetics, because he also did another.
No,
history.
Joey does his own, man.
Oh, he does
Joey
his own. Yeah, that's a good one, Joey.
big time. He's great at them, man. He's a super hater, man. We love Joey, though. Joey, we love you, Joey. Thank you for the support. And I want to highlight who got gifted memberships. V did, and again, we're going to remember to praise Albert Moe and Jojo Forrest. God bless you, Joey. Joey, you got to get a hold of that icon there because we want to use it, man. We want to use it for the show. And a shout out to Random Catholic. He says, Tony's quote from Innocent. First is in Denzinger 213. Second is in Denzinger 218. I don't think Epistle 182 is a correct attribution. Flipping pages fast. Okay, so is he saying that the epistle attribution, maybe it isn't 182, but he was able to find the quotes in Denzinger? Is that correct? But it's not 182? Is that the case?
I'm not really familiar what the what it's labeled.
Do you know what he's talking about there, Tony?
But Innocence Decree is found in Denzinger,
Sure.
Denzinger Schoenmetzer, and Denzinger Hunemann, for sure.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, but the other one, I'm not sure what its designation is. I could probably look it up.
Yeah, the other one I don't know. Yeah, if you could maybe look that up, that'd be great. And I want to give a shout out to Random Catholic, who's a supporter over there at the Apocrypha Apocalypse. You guys are phenomenal. You guys are great. And while you look that up, let me give a shout out to Rosarium, and then we're going to go back to the presentation. And we got people back here. By the way, guys, for people that are back here, we're having a great time dialoguing with you guys. We're having a phenomenal time because every now and then we do get trolls. Just want to make sure you're not a troll. Let us know what is their faith persuasion and what do you have on your mind. We'll bring you up. Rosarium, who is a goated moderator and member, gifted memberships to Odd Chaldean, to the heretic Giovanni, our brother, to Xavier, to Linda Hernandez, Cody Pintor, Instagram, Andre, Antonio Montairo. You guys, make sure to give a shout out to the phenomenal brother Rosarium. Rosarium, God bless you, my friend. Yeah, so let's dive in. Gary, were you going to say something?
I found
You
it real
did?
quick.
Okay. You did find
Yeah,
it.
it actually doesn't reproduce it, but it's Denzinger 162.
Okay.
And it says from Epistle 42, if that was in the year 495.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm also seeing a comment from SoCal Preston.
Where is that? My
I
man,
think
SoCal, come back here, heretic. Come on up, brother.
You got the works of Saint Augustine, translation for the 21st century, part 2, and then Letters, volume 3. I'm thinking that's probably where this citation of letter 182 is coming from, because I think I may have a point. It sounds familiar for some reason.
Okay. SoCal, shout out to SoCal. He is a near and dear friend of the channel. He's a brother. We love him a lot. He's great. And if I am correct, pointed out that the brothers SoCal will be debating on the canon very soon. Is that correct?
Yes,
When is that debate?
21st of September. I'm not sure. 26th.
Oh no,
20...
26th. I won't be in state.
No, I thought it was the 20th. Let me look at my calendar.
I thought it was the 20th as well.
I mean, it is the 20th. 20th, he says, guys, I am totally game to doing if you guys are game to do a watch party, I'm all in.
I'm in.
Certainly.
Let's do it.
We're going to do it. We're thrilled and pumped, SoCal.
People are saying the stream is lagging. Guys, let me tell you one thing. It has nothing to do with me if the stream is lagging at all. Is everybody lagging or is it only me? They're saying that the stream in general is lagging. Remember, the stream doesn't run on my computer. It would run on StreamYard. So is it my audio? Or is it everybody? Let me double check for everybody. There we go. It's lagging in general. If it's lagging in general, it cannot be me. Remember, I don't host StreamYard. StreamYard is StreamYard. I don't host. It's going to be choppy. Yeah. Yeah, guys. So that has nothing to do with me. Hopefully, it does fix in a bit. All the pen, yeah, it has nothing to do. Yeah, definitely not on my end. Then it has got to be on StreamYard's end. Hopefully, it'll fix up in a bit, though. Huh. All right. Anyway, let's continue, guys. Hopefully, hopefully it'll get. Hopefully, it'll fix in a bit. God bless you to Gary Gautreau. Heretic 777. Gary Gautreau, God bless you for your support, my friend. You are my 945th. Well, then let's dive in. I'm going to go out and come back in, guys. You continue the presentation, Tony. I'm going to go out and come back in. It might just be on my end. Let me try and see if I can fit that, and I'll be right back in, guys.
Okay. Well, before we move on, I really do want to spend just a little bit more time with this quote from Pope Agatho and really highlight its theological and also pastoral significance here. So he says that the biblical canon of these synods is unassailable because the Holy Spirit revealed it to the church. So I want to highlight that. So this canon is unassailable. Holy Spirit revealed it to the church. And because this is the case, there should be peace in the church rather than the scandal of disagreement, so that there can be one heart and one mind among all Christians. So I think that's worth highlighting for the sake of unity. There should be unity both east and west. There should be unity among all Christians, and the canon could be a good place to start, perhaps. So I want to highlight that takeaway message from Pope Agatho.
That is a great takeaway. Okay. It is. By the way, people are saying it is StreamYard. So guys, remember, if I left and I saw people saying everybody was still lagging, remember, I do not host StreamYard for my computer. StreamYard has their own servers. So if it's lagging here on Patristic Pillars, it'll be lagging over there in the Apocryphal Apocalypse. It happens every now and then in StreamYard. Hopefully it will fix up in a bit, guys. And Alexander Figueroa is correct. It's the rapture, guys. It's the rapture.
Right. Someone doesn't like Pope Agatho.
Yeah, very clearly. Someone doesn't like Pope Agatho. Hopefully it does fix, guys. If it does fix, eventually, guys, let us know. Hopefully it does. Either which way, what I am doing, so it does look obvious, guys. Let me know, give me feedback, and let me know how it is. Hopefully it does fix.
All right. Before we move on from Pope Agatho and his letter, I do want to point out, so it appears that there are both Greek and Latin versions of this letter, but they are substantially the same in their reference to the canon of the sacred scriptures, the reference to the venerable synods, which the form of the truth has been set forth by us through the assistance of the Spirit. And in this particular translation or language, it comes through pretty clear that Pope Agatho here is inviting the and preaching this biblical canon. So again, there will be no scandal of dissension, and so that all Christians will be of one heart and one mind. So I just think this is very relevant for our times and East-West relations and unity among all Christians. And so I think there's some added value in appreciating it in the Latin as well.
Definitely, without a doubt.
All right. So here's the slide where I definitely want to just explicitly give a big shout out to the Reverend Dr. Kappas and William Albrecht for their book, A Complete History of the Biblical Canon in the Greek East and Latin West. So I took the Greek text for Pope Agatho's letter from this book. It was definitely highly influential in the forming of this presentation. So I encourage everyone to check it out. They spend quite a bit of time talking about the rise to fame and the authority of Augustine in the East, which I haven't incorporated really much into this presentation, but I thought that was also very interesting. So check that out because it lends support to the African code being circulated in the Greek East even earlier than what we find in Justinian's letter. I don't know if you wanted to add on to that.
Yeah, no, I've got nothing else to add. That's a great point. I mean, I think you really just you hit the nail on the head. That's perfect. Great point. People are saying, by the way, glory to God, the audio is better. So I don't know. Hopefully the hamster that fell asleep there in StreamYard woke up, and now the hamster's rolling around again in that wheel. Guys, it happens every now and then where I've been doing shows in StreamYard. People are saying that it's lagging and what have you. I go out and I come back in, and it all depends on StreamYard. So, yeah. And imagine if you had the free version. We don't have the free version. We pay for StreamYard. And I mean, we still get this lag every now and then, yes. But glory to God, it's working well, guys. So hope that wasn't too much of a distraction. Again, we do have people back here. So I think we still got a few more slides. Not too many more. Yeah, but guys, be patient. Yeah, we're almost done. Be patient, guys. We're almost done with them. And once we are done with them, though, you're probably going to get a gut punch in the dojo from Gary. He is the dojo master. But be patient, guys. We're going to open up the doors of the dojo. They're already open, but we're going to let you in just a moment. Just a few more slides, guys. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. Last thing I want to say about your book, it tries to draw connections also to the ecumenical councils as well before. So Ephesus, Chalcedon, Constantinople II. So check it out. The other interesting thing is that it also discusses, I think, how the East wandered away from this early consensus on the canon, which is kind of the other part of the story to all of this, which I won't get into here. Okay, so let's talk about the Council of Trullo. So it's an Eastern council, and accepts all the canons, including the one referring to the biblical canon of the Council of Carthage. And so Council of Carthage is listed among various other councils, including and alongside ones like Nicaea, Ephesus, and Chalcedon. So we can see it says, we set our seal likewise upon all the other holy canons set forth by our holy and blessed fathers. And then it goes on to list various councils and synods, including Carthage.
Yep.
Okay. So let's go back to Schaff for a little bit. So again, we have another Protestant historian. We learn that the North African Code received quasi-ecumenical authority through the acceptance of its canons by the Seventh Ecumenical Council of Nicaea II, but also through the Council of Trullo. So again, we are in good company, in terms of even Protestant scholarship here, how the North African Code is not just local, not just regional, but universal in its importance.
Phenomenal.
Okay. Just I think this might be one of the last ones here. So we have our last piece of evidence here with the Ecumenical Council of Florence, which affirmed the canon list of the North African councils. And again, without any apparent controversy or debate. So again, as late as, I guess this would be the 15th century, the 1400s, we have agreement between East and West on the biblical canon. So with that, I will end it here. I think we've covered multiple centuries, multiple councils, multiple popes, and I just don't see how anyone could look at all this and come back with come with the comeback. Oh, they're just local councils now. So anytime this comes up, we can. I personally am going to refer them to either this stream or my own video and put it to rest.
I think you did a great job here. I think your presentation was phenomenal, and we got people saying excellent presentation, great presentation. Yeah, without a doubt. Great job, Tony. I loved it. Very edifying. And I want to say again, thank you, for your time, for your effort. Great job here. And any thoughts on the presentation, Gary and David?
No, he definitely put a fork in it. It was a really nice way to see all the information together at once, and really cool, very helpful.
Yeah, I agree. You did a very good job. Certainly one of a kind presentation on this channel. So, yeah, very, very good, Tony. And just to add to Florence, it comes from the Bull of Union, where not only the Eastern Orthodox would be assumed to agree with, but also it was the Bull of Union with the Copts and also with the Ethiopian Church. So,
Yep.
The Church Universal was in play here, and so it's not really just the West, but also the East.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And the canon was agreed upon. That was not something being contended. And there definitely were bones of contention there at Florence, before at Florence as well. There were bones of contention. Clearly, if the canon was not a bone of contention, well, what does that tell you? That shows you the universality of the North African Code. That, to me, is massive, enormous.
Yeah,
that's a great point there, David.
And as Tony said, what other attestation or what other canon has such a great attestation, right?
Right.
Certainly none. It's really just the one presented at the North African Councils, as we see over and over and over again. So, yeah, I think you highlighted it very well, Tony.
Yeah, I might add a slide there, if I may.
Yeah.
Sure.
Now, unless you did it while I'm my apology. Someone's at the door, so I had to turn off the camera.
No worries. No worries.
But did you do the Council of Sens? Or the Synod of Sens?
When was that?
That's 1528.
Yeah.
1528. No, I did not include that, but so I stopped at Florence. But
Okay.
I do encourage everyone to go look at your medieval scholarly tradition series, at least the first video. It is fantastic.
Actually, even knows
really
the series where it's in. Yeah.
Yes, great.
Tony, you win the Nerd Award.
So
Get Out of Town. That's a great series, man. That's one of a kind, Gary. I mean, you did a great job there.
Yeah, the only reason I bring it up is because they specifically referenced the Third Council of Carthage.
Okay.
Along with Innocent and Gelasius. And this is like right before before Trent, really when the Reformation is just getting off its heels. You already have a collection of bishops referring back to these councils. And what's interesting is in the West, you don't really find a lot of people pointing to the North African councils. They tend to point more towards Innocent and Gelasius. Interesting enough. So it's like, so Sens is interesting in that it does point to the North African councils, like Trent, and the deliberations at Trent they do as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's interesting that you mentioned the references to Pope Innocent and Gelasius, because David, you did point me in the direction of Pope Nicholas I. And his reference to Pope Innocent's canon list. And so I did look at that. I didn't incorporate it into this particular presentation, but I did find it, and I did try to get a translation of it because the source you gave me, I think, was in Latin. But yes, it looks
in English.
Yeah. So it does look like Pope Innocent. He's having a discussion about what looks like what must be obeyed and what must not be, and whether certain canons get whether certain things get incorporated into the canons or whether they don't, and whether it's papal decretals getting included into the canons or not. And so I do think that he is saying, yeah, Pope Innocent has settled it, pronounced on the canon, but yeah, I didn't include it in this presentation since it was a little later, and I'm not sure of the translation, honestly. So But I thought that was a good piece of evidence too. in
Yeah,
general.
I got it actually from Gary because he's got it in his
Yeah.
book, Why Catholic Bibles Are Bigger, and he's
Oh, okay.
quoting, I believe, Father Loisy and one more guy,
Green.
Breen.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, A.E. Brain.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I should have just gone to Gary's book. Here I was trying to track it down online in the Latin. Anyway,
Yeah. Also, the Synod of Jerusalem in the Eastern Church, William and I, we kind of discussed this, even though they point to the pseudo-Laodicean canon right on
Yes.
the scriptures, but nevertheless, the way they frame it sounds like that that this almost pan-Orthodox synod was basically following the North African councils.
Yeah, I think so. I really do.
Yeah.
And I think it's very difficult to argue that it was anything other than pan-Orthodox. Definitely pan-Orthodox.
Yeah.
Meaning if it is pan-Orthodox, it means that it is binding. Now, what is up for debate is the level of binding authority. Fine, I'm willing to have that debate any day. But it really does seem to me like it's binding. It should be binding. And even if you argue that, well, okay, it isn't binding the level of an ecumenical council, very clearly those decrees are decrees that were considered authoritative at that time and should be considered still today for their faithful.
I tell you this: the Synod of Jerusalem is not viewed as on the level of ecumenical council by the Eastern Orthodox because it was not approved by the Pope.
That's a good point, man. That's a good point. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that, man. That is a brilliant point.
Yeah. By the way, I gotta. Sorry.
I was going to say that's 1672.
Yeah.
Is that right? Synod
Yes.
of Jerusalem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just got also an extra slide if you don't mind.
I'd love it. Definitely. There we go. There we go. Oh, let me remove this first. There we go.
Yeah, so we got other scholars as well who are commending either on the North African councils or Trullo. The one by Osterley is interesting because notice at the end he even mentions Photius in the 9th century, allegedly accepting this canon. So he was the patriarch of Constantinople, right? So the most prominent figure in the East.
Without a doubt.
So I would have to hunt down the first-hand material, which I so far haven't, but I would assume Australia knows what he's talking about. But
that is a very good one. I'd love to see that. Wow. Does it have the source for that to where it can be found?
I will have to check. I will check whether Australia gives a footnote or something. Yeah.
That's definitely that'd be a money quote if we can get that.
Yeah, and of course we have Hefele
Sure.
in his famous history of the councils of the church. Also says that it was translated into Greek even before the Tron Synod.
Yeah.
And of course, even Swede, a very important scholar, who says that, of course, this canon certainly prevailed throughout the whole West as well.
Sure.
Yeah, this is just I wanted to throw out. So
Yeah, good stuff.
Very, very good stuff. Very, very good. Oops, what did I do there?
Oh, it was me.
Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, guys, you guys ready to go to the people we got back here? We got plenty of people here. And guys, if you all send any questions, be patient. We'll get to them. If you don't want to come back here, no worries at all, guys. I want to be respectful to time. David, Gary, Tony, I don't know how much time you guys got. I've got at least another hour I can be here. I don't know if all of you, everybody here has that same amount of time. David, how's your time?
Yeah, maybe got a few minutes.
Okay. If you've got to go before, is that good with you, Gary? About at least an hour?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah,
okay.
I could do more. By the way, if I could really quick, guys, we are currently at 12,887 subs at the Pocket of Apocalypse. That's only 13 away from hitting the 12.9K mark. one of you, if you haven't subbed, please do. You might be the one to put us over the top and get us one click closer to 13K.
Just a big shout out as well. Man, I remember, Gary, when you started the Apocalypse channel, that what a thrill it was just to get to 1K subs. We are incredibly grateful. And the reason being, I don't think either of us, including David, could have imagined that people would be so interested. And I am thrilled and pumped that people are. I really am thrilled and pumped. Indeed, I think it is vitally important to care about the canon. But I know that for a lot of people, it's maybe not so interesting. I love it. It is near and dear to my heart, and I'm thrilled that we got so many people interested. Guys, if you are watching on my channel, Patristic Pillars, head over there and subscribe right now if you haven't yet. And you got the link right there. You got it right there, guys. Thank you for your phenomenal support, guys. All right, we got people back here. I want to be fair, and I want to go to the people we've gotten back here in order. Now, my browser crashed, so I've got no idea, no clue who spoke first, but I think Random Catholic was there first. For the other people we got back here, and we do have other people, you guys got to let us know right over there in the private chat. What is your faith, and what do you have on your mind? We want to make sure you're not a troll, because we get trolls very often back here. Random Catholic, how you doing, my friend? Are you able to hear us?
Good. How are you? Can you hear me?
Great. We can hear you great, brother. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. God bless all of you. And Tony, what a great presentation. Oh, awesome. I was flipping through the Enchiridion for other things, and I noticed, and this is what I tried to say before, that the two quotes that you put up from Innocent the first one, the letter to Ex Superius, I think, is in the Enchiridion in paragraph 213, and the second one is in the Enchiridion in paragraph 218. That's all I was saying. So you said you were having trouble finding primary sources. I just wanted to give you that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah,
The nice thing about Denzinger is the footnotes. So if you want to hunt down primary source material, the headers always have footnotes, and they will point you to the collections. So for anyone out there that wants to look up the Latin or Greek or something, Denzinger is actually really good.
Yeah, Denzinger is
I actually have the book open on my desk right now, so I'm not a dork or anything. All right. God bless y'all. God bless y'all. Have a great day.
Thank you so much for your support,
Appreciate
brother,
it.
and for the comments. God bless you, brother. If you want to come up again later, you got anything on your mind, we'd love to hear from you all. Let me see. Your question has absolutely nothing to do with the topic, Taylor. Nothing at all to do with the topic. You're talking about gift of tongues, brother. Absolutely nothing to do with the topic. If you could give us a topic related to the canon, my friend, something related to what we're talking about, would love to bring you up, my friend. But the gift of tongues, nothing to do with it. Swan, are you able to hear us, my friend? You are on mute, and I cannot unmute you because you have muted on your end. Swanner. All right, we'll remove him, and we'll go back to him in a moment if he does take care of that mic issue. Guys, remember, you got to stick to the topic. You got to – and you guys, if you're watching the show, you clearly know what we're talking about. You know what we're talking about. We're not talking about tongues, justification, papacy. We're talking about the canon, guys. So hopefully we get somebody. Yeah, I know that, guys. The moderator's working overtime. I want to make sure we didn't miss anything. Let me see. Let me double check. We haven't missed a thing. I think we've gotten every question so far. Let me see. We'll wait and see if anybody has. Let me look in the audience, see if we've gotten anything. Because we have people back here, but we bring them up and they're on mute, or they don't have their camera on, or their camera is not connected. Right now we got 4 more people back here, but the other 3 says device unconnected, so I can't even add you. Guys, I can't even add you. Let me see. Let me see. Did I miss something? Let me see, guys. See a lot of unrelated stuff. Let me see. Okay. Swanner, if you'd like to ask that, you can ask that on the air. We have we've dealt with that before. I can bring you up. My friend, how you doing, brother? All right. So we got him coming on Monday. Is that right, Gary? We got him for Monday.
Yep, absolutely.
There we go, man. We got our heretical brother. Totally. Bye, guys. If we call you a heretic, we love you. Totally joking, man. We call you a heretic, we love you guys. Completely joking around. Reason Belief is a great friend of the channel. He's Eastern Orthodox. We love him. His brother's name is Sam. He does great work, phenomenal work. If you haven't subbed to his channel yet, head over there and do it now. He does really, really good work. And I am very happy that we're going to be bringing him on to talk with him on Monday. That'll be a lot of fun. It's been a long time in the making to bring the brother on and dialogue with him. Sweater, you get your thing fixed, sir. You want to ask us on the air? And all righty then.
I think he said that he was at work. And,
there we go. Okay.
Listening. So,
now he did ask a question. He did want to know, although I'm not sure what he wanted to know about third Ezra's. Actually, excuse me, on Ezra's, the Ezra's 3 canonicity. I'm not sure what the question was. Anybody? Do you guys know what his question could have been?
No, I have no idea. I'm not even sure what Ezra's 3 is.
Okay. Yeah.
I would assume, but it's just my assumption, whether third Esdras is incorporated in the North African councils.
Oh, could be that. Could be the question. Yeah.
But I'm not sure. That's just the most popular one.
Yeah.
Right.
Tried to head that off at the beginning, but yeah, that could be it.
Yeah, that does come up quite often.
So go listen to my 8-hour presentation, and you will.
Yeah.
Get the answer.
So we got a great super chat over there at the Apocryphal Apocalypse. We want to give a major shout out to Zeke. God bless you for your phenomenal support over there at the Apocryphal Apocalypse. And we're able to do what we do here because of your incredible support. We want to give you a phenomenal shout out. It says, thanks, Gary, David, and William for hosting this magnificent YouTube platform. Thank you so much. And if you have a question, we'd love to have it back here. And if not, thank you, number one, for being a member here at the Apocryphal Apocalypse. And thank you for your incredible support, Zeke. God bless you immensely.
I think you're a gold medalist in donating. So
there you go, man. We got to give you a shout out.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for your support.
Zeke has good questions. If this is Ezekiel who is sometimes sending questions,
really,
to Gary and to me, like in private emails, he's got really good questions sometimes.
God bless you, Zeke. God bless you. Thank you for your phenomenal support, guys. Your support is phenomenal. We greatly appreciate it. I did see one before Zeke stole the show. I saw one, man. Let me see. He says, same Zeke emailing you. There you go. God bless you, brother. There you go.
Yeah.
That was a good catch there, David. Good catch, man.
Yeah. Very good questions. I mean, from time to time, we do receive good questions through email. So thank you for that. And keep up the good work and feel free to send us questions whenever you would like. Sure.
Yeah, you're definitely in the Hall of Fame of nerddom when it comes to canon and canon questions and stuff.
We love nerding out on those questions, guys. We love it. We
Absolutely.
love nerding out on those questions. You guys are phenomenal. Can you ask our friend SoCal, can you ask David Jerome's treatment of Baruch? Did he translate it? If not, how did it make its way into his Vulgate? SoCal, who is a near and dear friend of the channel, shout out to you. David, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so what is very important to point out that initially Jerome did accept Baruch because we have testimony from Jerome himself. So it's the pre-390 year. When you look at my series on Baruch on the channel, you just go to the channel and put in the search engine the word Baruch. You will find it there. It's in part 2, I think. Part 2 where I deal with the Latin fathers and I deal with Jerome there. So we have 2 quotations from him. In one, his quotation is basically an evidence for the Trinity, and that's very similar to what Athanasius does with Baruch. So he is proving Christ's divinity by pointing to Baruch, and of course, he is using also the New Testament, and I think Isaiah or Jeremiah. Jeremiah First it was Jeremiah, and then he says the scriptures was elsewhere also testifies, or something like along those lines, and then quotes Baruch. So he views Baruch as part of Jeremiah, and this testifies to Christ. But after he adopts the Hebrew verite, he would reject Baruch, and he's not going to translate it. He's not going to even comment on it, as he says that it's absolutely worthless or something like that, because the Jews don't have it. And it seems that he really maintained this position till the end of his life. And, people point this out that, look, David, I mean, how can you say Jerome changed his mind if we have really, from his last commentary, which is the commentary on Jeremiah, where he repeats the very same thing, which he did in his prologue to the book of Jeremiah, that he's not even going to comment on it because, the order in this Jeremiah is confused in the Septuagint version. There's this Baruch, which is not authentic, and so on and so forth. Now, I do acknowledge this, and I said this many times in my presentations, but this doesn't actually, to me, this is not evidence that Jerome did not change his mind, because we got two Jeremiahs. That's the problem. So we have a Masoretic, we have the Septuagint. And in the Septuagint, actually, the Jeremiah book is very short. It's much, much shorter. And so now, of course, the church certainly did use the Masoretic version as well. I mean, the longer version as well, because the church fathers do quote also the longer Jeremiah. So if they would just have the shorter one, then they would, where would they get these quotes from the longer versions of Jeremiah, So I think Jerome was really hesitant to accept what was the correct variant of Jeremiah. So in this case, he opted for the Hebrew, which he had a good reason for, because he wanted to maintain the longer Jeremiah, but then at the same time would reject Baruch for that matter. That seems to be the case for me. I cannot say this for 100%, but that seems to be the case. It's true that the earliest copies of the Vulgate we don't have Baruch, but it's really just Codex Amiatinus. And when it comes to complete Vulgate, then we have some fragmentary Vulgates where we don't have Baruch. But at the same time, you find scholars who will point out that perhaps one of the codices, Codex Cavensis, which was compiled just a century later after the Codex Amiatinus, actually goes back even earlier. So the original Vulgate, which was copied and from which we have the Codex Cavensis, probably did include Baruch. So it's really questionable whether Baruch was not there even since the beginning in the Vulgate. It was certainly there in the Old Latin. And just remember, guys, for a couple of centuries, the Vulgate still wasn't the mainstream Bible. Okay, after Jerome made his translation, it's really around 6th, 7th century. I know Gregory the Great says both are authentic. So even Gregory the Great is still using both the Old and the New Vulgate. So Baruch is still used as Jeremiah up till the 8th century, actually, which again proves that Baruch was read from the Old Latin up till the 8th century. So people somehow noticed that Baruch is missing from Jerome's translation, so they incorporated it back. But what's interesting, you don't find Esdras being incorporated back. So that's why I pointed out that certainly Baruch was viewed as authentic, but I don't think you can make the case for Esdras on that matter. Yeah, so that would be Jerome, and yeah, we don't have any attestation that he would change his mind later on with respect to Baruch, but doesn't matter because we have earlier attestations from Jerome, which proves that he's basically, you can say, a hostile witness that Baruch was indeed there for the Catholic Church. Hope that helps.
I bet Jeremiah and Baruch slammed Jerome when he got to heaven.
I bet a lot of people did, actually. I think he wasn't the best at making friends sometimes.
No, you're right about that. He was a fiery figure, man. Definitely fiery. Rosarium, is it true that certain churches did not have revelation in its canon? If so, is it known what their reason was? Now, we have a little bit of speculation as to why the book of Revelation had an initially rocky reception, in particular in the East. And I think, I think all of us here in the panel would agree a big part of it had to do with its very clear acceptance within the Montanist movement. A big part had to do with that. Now, with that in mind, either which way, Revelation is still present in every single council when the church gathers to lay out the contents of sacred scripture. Revelation is present in all of them, meaning it's there in the North African Code and repeated in later councils. It is always present there. So that's an important thing to keep in mind. Did it have an initially rocky reception because of its popularity within Montanism? Sure did. But still a canonical book, still present in the North African Code and in every council that gathers to lay out the contents of sacred scripture. Yeah, I don't know if I'd add anything else to that. Yeah, what about you, Gary? Anything else to add to that, or David, or Tony?
No. Yeah, I think that's well said. Yeah, I don't think anybody actually goes out and says, don't accept Revelation because, it just is omitted. And
Sure.
So you just have to draw an inference there.
Yeah. Anything to add to that, David?
No, I completely agree. Yeah.
Tony, anything on your mind in regards to that?
Yeah, I think y'all covered it.
Okay. Cool deal. AB, I'm not sure if you touched upon this, David. I think the Ezra's question, by the way, AB, thank you for your support, brother. I think the Ezra's question was questioning its relationship with Nehemiah and Ezra. Since both the latter are accepted, Ezra's is practically accepted. You think you touched upon that briefly, didn't you, Brother David? Or is it something else he's referring to? By the way, AB, thank you for your phenomenal support, my man. I think you said that you were running out of characters. No worries, brother. I think we get the gist of what you're saying, brother. Thank you for being an amazing moderator and member, and for your support, my friend. Let me see. I'm trying to see. You understand that question, David?
Not entirely.
Yeah, there's a few theories on what's the relationship of Ezra's or Greek Ezra to Ezra and Nehemiah.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he's referring to maybe Ezra's is like a predecessor to Ezra and Nehemiah back when they were connected along with Chronicles.
Okay, maybe you meant that. Did you mean that, AB? We want to be able to tackle what exactly you meant. Yes, he said yes, Gary. He said you got it right.
Oh, cool. I got one right, guys. Yay.
There you go.
By scholarship today, it is one theory is completely rejected nowadays, is that Ezra represents a fragment. So the fragment theory has been rejected. So the theory was that Esdras is basically a fragment of a much larger book, which was Chronicles, Ezra, and Nehemiah. So that was debunked because people thought that there is this strange beginning with the end of Chronicles, and then you have an abrupt ending. But scholars have justified why this is actually there. So Esdras is really a variant of Ezra with some additional material today. That's the status quo when it comes to Esdras. So it's nothing more than just a variant of Ezra, but not Ezra, Nehemiah, Chronicles.
Yep.
Let me see. Any other? By the way, for people that we had back here, and I guess people left, unfortunately. Couldn't get their mics going. Either they couldn't get them going, or I don't know, a gremlin got in or something. And Andy, God bless you, brother. Thank you for your phenomenal support over there on the Apocrypha Apocalypse. Thank you for your support. But we had plenty of people back here, and a bit of a bummer that we would bring them up, and then unfortunately either the mic didn't work, or they would end up dropping, or they were tuning in at work. We're doing it earlier than usual today, guys. So I know a lot of people may be at work. Maybe you're tuning in from work. We're glad you're here. In fact, we're not glad. We're thrilled and we're pumped that you guys are here. We're so happy all are here. So if you have anything in your mind, we still got a few more minutes to be here with you all. Pick our brains. If we don't get any more questions or we don't get anybody else back here, we're going to close the doors to the dojo, guys. And we won't be back again live together, all of us, until Monday. So pick our brains. Or if you are, look, together between the patristic pillars and Apocrypha Apocalypse, We have over 230 watching live, guys. I know a few of you guys have questions. I know more than a handful are definitely probably Protestant tuning in. Hi. Come back here. You want to pulverize our brain or you want to ask our question? Whatever you want, guys, we'll give you a fair chance to ask your question. Or you want to debate it in a friendly manner. Maybe you say, I want to debate Gary on this thing he said in his video, or William, or David, or Tony. You got something for Tony. You want to ask Tony a question on the presentation. Guys, we're all ears here. We'd love to hear from you. So don't hesitate to come back here. Tell us, brother, you definitely are. Don't shortchange yourself, brother. You're a smart guy, man. I've spoken with you before, and every time I speak with you, I get such a major headache because you're so clueless, brother. I'm joking, brother. I'm joking, Talus. We love you, man. I'm totally joking, Talus. Come back here, man. You can ask anything, man. We love you, brother. We love you, man. And in the meantime, before, John, come on, John. I don't think you're being serious, John. So in the meantime,
William, I got a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Do you have a cup of your coffee flavored cream and sugar?
I am going to in a moment. And let me tell you one thing, Gary. Man, not only am I glad you asked that, Gary, now you got me on a rant. Because I went to the store earlier. Moderators, do your job when people are off the topic, not only on patristic pillars, but please do it also over the Apocryphal Apocalypse. Please keep people focused. Gary, I went to the store earlier. You know what I found? And you guys, the audience, are going to laugh at me. I found my favorite. I found pumpkin spice. 0 sugar, man. So I'm going to just fill that cup up, and then I'm going to make me some coffee, man, with pumpkin spice flavored. I know David is cringing because over there in Europe, this kind of stuff is, they don't do this stuff over there, guys. They don't, man. I can tell you right now. They do not do this over there in Europe. This is an American thing, guys. And my German family over there in Germany are like, man, you are way too Americanized. Hey, man, don't be a hater. Don't be a hater, man. Pumpkin spice, 0 sugar, or coconut cream, 0 sugar. Coffee Mate for me all the time. There's nothing better than Coffee Mate. Then I make my coffee. Guys, it doesn't even look like coffee. It's all white by the time I'm done with it. Gary and David, you guys would be anathematizing me from this group. If you guys saw. We're getting some questions, which is good. Before we go to them, I want to give a shout out to the incredible Jay Mossbernie, who is a goated member and has sent 5 memberships. Shout out to those that got memberships. It is One Sirach. I like that name. Falcone, Chef Lou. Are you a real Chef Lou? CJ's Legacy and the Clapped. You all, God bless you guys. Love you. Thank you for your phenomenal support. And do not forget to say thank you to the incredible J Moss, who is a great supporter of the channel. And AB, I know if I was in Italy, you'd anathematize me. I know that, man. I know you'd anathematize me, AB. I know it, man. I know David would too. And you know, we're in America. Gary would anathematize me if I stepped foot in Michigan, man. I know that, man. Oh, look at that. We got haters coming out of the woodwork, guys. We got haters coming out of the woodwork, man. Yep. Marco Zamora, creamer with a hint of coffee. That's the only way to do it, guys. All right, let me look at the chat, guys. All right.
Yeah, I'm making some mods here.
There you go, guys. You got to make guys, you guys are phenomenal. I want to give a shout out briefly. In Germany, we drink black coffee because we hate life, man. Oh, man. You know, the coffee. Great, man.
Yeah, you know what they put in coffee in Germany?
They
put coffee.
Yeah,
and you know what else they put in it? They put coffee.
They put coffee, man. Yeah. No doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. That's definitely. It is. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. One moment, guys. All right. I want to make sure we don't miss anyone. And I want to give a shout out to you, Joe Ro. Joe Ro, how you doing? And how's your family doing? I want to give Joe Ro a God bless you, Joe Ro. Thank you for your support. And Rosarium, too, who is my 945th favorite heretic. We have a good question. We had one. I couldn't find it. DeRosa, how you doing, DeRosa?
Is that John DeRosa?
I don't know. Is that John DeRosa? That's a good question. If it is John DeRosa, let us know if it is you. Yeah, that's not a very common last name, so it could be John DeRosa. I don't know. By the way, I want to give a shout out ever so briefly. I've been doing it in all the shows, but I know that Brother John specifically tunes in to the Apocrypha Apocalypse. Brother John is an amazing supporter of Patristic Pillars and Apocrypha Apocalypse, and he's a friend of the channel. And he sent a gift to us. I don't know if Gary, if you've given him your address yet. If you haven't yet, then, well, I'm going to definitely make you very jealous, because he sent a gift to David and myself. And if you haven't gotten him your address yet, then you are really missing out. And I want to give a shout out to him. He is a near and dear friend of the channel, and he sent something that is so appropriate for the work that we do here on the Apocrypha Apocalypse. He sent this here, and David has that.
Yeah,
it is an icon of all of the biblical authors. And let me just briefly, guys, I'm going to put you back up in a moment. I'll put you back up in a moment. Shout out to the Brother John. You are a near and dear friend of the channel. I have already gotten it blessed. It is here on my shelf. You are amazing. Thank you for your love and support of the Apocrypha Apocalypse and Patristic Pillars. He sent this gift to the ministry. It is definitely a gift. It is one of the most beautiful icons I have. All of the authors of the Holy Scriptures, guys. When I got that, what a near and dear gift. It's a phenomenal one. Gary, you got to get him your address if you haven't yet. And
I did.
You did. Good. Praise the Lord. And we want to say thank you to him as well.
Yeah.
Great icon, isn't it, David?
It is beautiful. And just notice that you have Baruch there, Tobit, Sirach as well. So it's really beautiful. And handmade in Michigan.
Is it really? Handmade in Michigan. I didn't know that.
Michigan, yeah.
It comes from Legacy Icons. Legacy Icons are the very best. I didn't know that was from Michigan. Very cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is John from Michigan as well? I don't know.
Yes, he is.
Is it really?
Yeah, I've met him a few times. Long time ago.
Michigan really concentrates a lot of cool people.
Yeah. You also got
yeah.
Well, you had Steve Ray over there. I don't know if he's still there. Is he still near you?
He's still there. Yep. Yeah, I still.
You got the great Dr. Fastigi near you guys.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal, and of course you have
Dave Armstrong.
Dave Armstrong. What are you guys doing over there? Everybody flocking over there to Michigan, man. You've got the Titan. You got Elijah Yassi near you.
Elijah Yassi. We have Bobby Hesley.
Bobby Hesley.
We
Shout
got a
out
lot
to
of
them.
really great apologists here.
When we get together for a Catholic barbecue, which we got to do soon, Gary, David, you got to fly out to Michigan. We got to meet there in Michigan, man. It'd be a blast, man. We got to get you there as well, Tony. We got to get you there as well, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Dave, if you arrange something like in a year or something during the summer, I will put a barbecue on. I don't do it often, but I'll invite all the apologists in the area. We'll have a lot of fun. William will be there. He can drink his coffee-flavored cream and pumpkin spice concoction.
Now, I'll tell you what I'll drink. I'll tell you, if it is a barbecue, guys, I'm telling you guys, what I drink Doppelbock. Nothing else but a Doppelbock. I will drink Ondex, Doppelbock, or Paulaner. It depends what Doppelbock I'm in the mood. Or Eyinger. If you all are from Germany and you don't know those names, then you all are not real German. I just named Paulaner. I just named Ondex and Franziskaner. If you guys don't know what those beers are, then you all are not real German. So if you're tuning in,
is good.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. So you've had that beer.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you like that one, don't you? My top one of all those is Ondex, the Holy Mountain beer. There's none better. None better.
Nice. Yeah, hey guys, for a few years I would do barbecues. I have a home smoker, smoke like a bunch of ribs and stuff. There's so much pork, there wasn't a Muslim in miles, right? And basically it was to have fellowship with all the Catholics that are doing ministry here in Michigan. And I've had barbecues where we had like at least 100 people show up.
Wow.
Of course, it's almost always during the hottest day of the year. So you know what? Maybe we'll do a barbecue. It'd be like a Apocrypha Apocalypse convention barbecue.
There we go.
William will bring the beer. I'll bring the ribs. We'll fly David in.
We'll do
I'm just doing my reservation for the flight, man.
we got to bring you in, man. We'll have a phenomenal time, man. What a great time. And Tony, you got to show up as well, Tony. You got to.
Yeah, I mean, my wife's family is from Michigan, so
what? Everybody's from
wow. There we go.
Good Catholics in Michigan for sure.
What's going on?
It'd be tough to get SoCal to leave Southern California, though. That's going to be tough to come to the Detroit area. But
I will convince him. You know how I'll convince him? I'll find a powerlifting gym, and we'll go to the powerlifting gym. SoCal, me and you, 2 to 3 hours of powerlifting gym. Then we annihilate the meat, and we have some doppelbunks, brother. SoCal will never say no to that, man. I guarantee you that.
okay.
You won't say no to that. Definitely.
But it'll be open to anyone. If we ever pull this off, it'll be open to whoever wants to come. Even heretics are allowed.
Yeah. Well, everybody we mentioned is a heretic. Everyone we mentioned.
Exactly.
We love you guys. We love you all. Did we ever figure out that was John DeRosa? Was that John DeRosa?
I didn't see it in the chat room.
Okay. Might not be. It might not be. Okay, either which way. Let's tackle it. He says, what do the Deuterocanonical books say about things related to work and labor? I mean, I know a few of them in terms of labor in general. I don't know every mention. I know Sirach 7 says, do not hate hard work or farm labor, which was created by the Most High. That one's a famous one that I know off the top of my head. Excuse me. The other one that I know is in the book of Tobit, where Tobit's wife, his wife supports the family, and she does so. One of the ways she does so is by weaving. So we know that as well. So that's an example of labor and of, work and fair wages that are emphasized. Anywhere else, I'm sure there's a ton, because, we got a lot in those Deuterocanonical books. I don't know if you brothers know of any others, but those two come to mind immediately. And, those are two really good references.
Yeah, nothing comes to my mind. How about you, Tony, David?
Yeah, not off the top of my head, but I did do some searching, and William, I'm impressed. You got some good ones right off the top of your head.
Those are the only two I remember, man.
I see the internet tells me Sirach 10:27, better a worker who has plenty of everything than a boaster who lacks bread.
Okay.
So that's
you remember more than me, brother. You remember more than me, man.
But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, those are good. There you go. So I told you so. I told you one way of getting SoCal out of there is, you head to the gym, man. We're not going to go to just any regular gym, SoCal. What I do when I travel, if I travel to another state, first thing I do in my phone is I look for a powerlifting gym nearby. And we'll go there. SoCal, I'll find one near where Gary's at, and we'll have a great time. Just make sure to not invite Pat Flynn, man. We invite Pat Flynn, he's going to break our joints, man. That guy's wild, man. That guy uses freaking kettlebells, man. And I mean, who does that, man? I'm all about trying to live longer, man. I'm trying to, lengthen my life and be able to hold my daughter and be able to hold my cup of coffee. And you got wild guys out there like Pat Flynn, man, with those. Gary, am I right? You know what I'm talking about, man.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. I wouldn't touch one of those things. I'd be in traction.
Oh man!
And we'll invite the whole family. Reason belief you could fly in from England if you want to fly to the Detroit area.
Yep.
I don't know. That'd be a lot of fun. We'll get Marcus. We'll get all the gang. Elijah, and then you know what? We could even do a live stream and actually have William and Elijah both on camera at the same time.
There we go. There we go.
And
you mean David and Elijah? You mean David,
Elijah, William? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, no doubt.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, Crystal says that she'll take us to the best gym. I'm going to hold you to that. Definitely. Man, SoCal's an animal. You see, you guys are animals, man. You guys are crazy, man. No. Come on, man. Not CrossFit. You lost me when you said CrossFit. No, not CrossFit. You lost me when you said CrossFit there. We agree with you, Reason Belief. To the Protestants that think that Orthodox added in the Apocrypha later, or Deuterocanon, the ancient Orthodox liturgy is dripping with the Deuterocanonical books. We didn't add anything. You are spot on, Brother Sam, and that is why we are thrilled and pumped that we're going to be bringing you on, my man, on Monday, man. We could talk about that as well. There's no doubt about that. And that, to add to that, Gary, to briefly touch upon that, that's a very good point, is in the early church, a very good indicator of the reception of certain books was looking at the liturgy. If the living, breathed life of the church, which is the liturgy, contained these Deuterocanonical books, which it did, that is a very good indicator of how the early church was functioning. And we know the early church was functioning universally by utilizing the Deuterocanonical books built into the liturgy of the church. And that's a great indicator of how these were received early on. Isn't that right, Gary and David and Tony?
Yeah, the only thing I would have a caveat though, because liturgy can also employ just beautiful prayers, right?
Sure, no doubt. Yeah.
But
when
when
it's
you're talking
included these books,
lectionary, like lectionary, I think is even stronger. But
big
liturgy
time.
is still a piece of evidence. I wouldn't discount that at all.
Right, yeah. No doubt, especially in the manner in which they're being used in liturgy. We got to remember, you're using certain books in the liturgy for very important feast days. That is big. In particular, we know Sirach very often, and even wisdom were utilized for important feast days in regards to our Holy Mother Mary. That shows you how important those books were. So very, very good evidence there. Rosarium is a big fan. He says, if someone has a hand-painted icon of King St. Louis IX, feel free to gift it to me. You hater, man. If I had one, I wouldn't gift it to you. I wouldn't gift it to you, man. Franco says to DeRosa to pray a novena to St. Joseph, the worker, the terror of demons as well. That's a good one, isn't it, Gary? And shout out to the brother A.B. over there at the Apocryphal Apocalypse, who tells us, love you guys. I have learned so much from you all, and we are very humbled to hear that. Very, very humble. We're glad that you have. We're glad you've enjoyed it. And we're here as your humble servants in the Lord. We're glad to dialogue with you. This is a very good one from SoCal. SoCal, thank you for your support, brother. Health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. You know what we got to do? We got to also bring Father Kappas down, and Father Kappas will annihilate both me and SoCal combined, man. I mean, the guy's a tank, isn't he, Gary?
Oh yeah. We'll have a competition. That'd be fun.
No,
and I'll be the judge. I'm not going.
There's no way there. I don't think SoCal. I don't think people here in the panel realize how massive Father Kappas is. They do not. I don't think people know. You see him on shows, and he's got his priestly garb on or what have you. You guys do not know until you meet him in person. And you can ask Gary, because Gary, we all hung out together. Gary will tell you the guy's a machine.
Yeah, he's a tank.
Oh, man. He's a tank, man. He really is, man. Let's take another one. Let's take at least one more, and then we'll close the doors of the dojo. Guys, do you have anything else on your mind? No, SoCal, you can't. Trust me, man. Don't even challenge him on that. He has made it a point to build up the amount of pull-ups he can do with weights wrapped all around his body. Don't do it, SoCal. Don't do it, man. Don't go down that route, man. It won't end well for you, man.
Hey, Good Fight with Tony L put up an awesome one.
Who's
quote
that?
From Rufinus.
I don't know.
I wonder who that guy is.
There you go. For instance, the whole of the history of Susanna, which gave a lesson to the churches of God, has by him been cut out, thrown aside, and dismissed. The hymn of the three children, which is regularly sung in festivals in the Church of God. That's a good one. Do you know exactly where that is in Rufinus, by any chance?
I do. I was
okay.
Yeah,
it will be against
Jerome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got Book 2, Section 33. It's from one of my past presentations. Or your discussion of the canon and the liturgy reminded me of the discussion Gary and I had on that passage from Rufinus, where he's pointing out there's a backlash against Jerome because he's removing these Deutero portions of Daniel that were crucial to different festivals and songs in the church.
No doubt about that. A great point there. Great. Tons of great evidences, tons of great points. Guys or gals, if anybody want to come back here, you got one final one in your mind, would love to take it. If you want to put it in the chat, we'll pick it up. In fact, the very next one will be the final one, and we will close the doors of the dojo, guys. We hope you can give us one more. We'd love to hear from you, and then we'll be back with you all on Monday. We will be with the brother, Reason Belief. He is a near and dear friend of the channel. He indeed is a moderator on both the Apocryphal Apocalypse and over there with me at Patristic Pillars. He's a near and dear friend of mine. He's Eastern Orthodox. He does great work. If you haven't, head over to his channel, subscribe, put the alert notifications on. He does very good work. And We're thrilled and we're pumped to have him on Monday, and we're going to bring him on to dialogue with us on Monday. And Sunday night, I'll be debating. That'll be a lot of fun. AB, you'd like to know. That's a good question for Gary. Gary, any interest in the area of spiritual warfare? A bit off topic, but a good question. It is related to the canon because spiritual warfare appears there in the canon.
Yeah.
Have you ever done anything there on spiritual warfare, Gary?
No, but you're absolutely right. Tobit. I mean, that is very, very important with sacramentality and things like that. And, I one thing, maybe you guys can help me on this, but John Calvin, in his antidote to the Council of Trent, kind of one of the things he disses the Deuterocanon on is exorcisms. I thought Protestants were okay with exorcisms. Do you know if Calvin was against it, or?
You got me flat-footed there. I don't know.
Yeah, that never made sense to me.
Anything? Did you know anything about that, David? Now you're making me want to go and look. I've got no idea. Huh?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No,
So,
not off the top of my head, but I do know some of the early Protestant leaders did look upon a lot of different Catholic practices and beliefs as superstitious.
Okay.
And so I don't know if exorcism falls into that or not, but I thought they were. I mean, they believe in demons and demonic activity. I mean, especially Martin Luther. I don't know why exorcism in particular. It must be very specific kind of exorcism or practice that they objected to.
Yeah, now with Tobit, it's almost like he's using a sacramental, right? Because he's going to burn the fish guts.
Sure.
And by the power of God, God uses that physical thing to expel the demon.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what his problem was. I don't know. Oh, Frank C. says he was against exorcism.
Well, really, Frank? Frank, why are you a legend, man?
Huh.
How do you know that, man? Frank, you rock, my man. By the way, Frank is phenomenal. He's a great member of the channel, great supporter. I didn't know that. Now, Gary, man, I'm going to be diving in tonight to look into that. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, but, early in my career, I dived into spiritual warfare.
Sure.
As far as reading and things like that. And then later in my career, I realized it was true and wanted to start publishing books. And William, I'm sure you experienced the same thing with your books. You get spiritual pushback when it's going to be published.
There's no doubt. It's happened very, very often. Barriers, all kinds of spiritual warfare. There's certain things. It's happened very often. Spiritual warfare is real. Guys, you got to get to confession very often. Get to Holy Mass very often. Those are the best weapons. And don't forget to pray and fast. With that in mind, and AB, I want to give AB a shout out. That I'm glad that you brought it up, AB, because indeed spiritual warfare is very real. And a shout out to Ember. Ember, thank you for your incredible support. Now, as AB pointed out in the Deuterocanon, you do have, in particular, a very important and a universally important emphasis on prayer. It is a primary weapon in spiritual battle. That's why I say you got to pray, but not only that, but fasting as well. And in Tobit, not only Tobit, but other Deuterocanonical books, but in particular in Tobit, you've got prayer and fasting, and they're pointed to as weapons to battle against spiritual warfare. And then remember, in the book of Tobit, words that without a doubt are echoed in the Gospels, almsgiving is shown as spiritual protection. In Tobit 4, 7-11, almsgiving delivers from death, keeps you from going into darkness. It is a good gift in the sight of the Most High for all who practice it. And what does Raphael reaffirm in Tobit 12? One of the most powerful verses in all of the canon. Prayer is good with fasting, almsgiving, and righteousness. Almsgiving saves from death and purges away every sin. Now, that really is important, because if you want to be on your guard, spiritual armor, spiritual battle, well, you got it right here in the Deuterocanonical text, where you have almsgiving, prayer, and fasting are incredible in the battle against the dark spiritual forces. Because I guarantee you one thing: if people do not believe in spiritual warfare, I can guarantee you it is real. Anything else to add to that, brothers?
No. Amen to that.
Yeah. I was trying to look up that passage. This kind does not come out except by prayer and fasting. Looks like that's Matthew 17:21. Though it seems like that's disputed, I guess, in some Bibles because of the manuscript tradition.
Which one was that?
Matthew 17:21.
It's definitely there. Yeah, well, maybe certain manuscripts may not have it. I've never looked into that, but it's definitely in the oldest, and the early fathers quote from that. So,
yeah. But anyway, that's where mine went to. My mind went to with the discussion of prayer and fasting, and of course, the talk of the demonic and spiritual warfare is that prayer and fasting from the lips of our Lord. Some don't come out without it.
Yeah, no doubt. And I want to give a shout out to Mythical Elliptical. Brother, God bless you, my friend. I hope you're doing well, brother. And Lone Wolf got gifted a membership. Mythical Elliptical, brother. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Always great talking to you, brother. Thank you for your support. We will close the doors of the dojo with a final question here. I want to give a shout out to AB at the Apocrypha Apocalypse. He says, I have resources if needed. William has them. I do because you are amazing, brother. Thank you very much. I believe Calvin believed demons were banished after the resurrection. Really? That would be a very unique view that is not present. Definitely not present in the patristics. Are you aware of that at all, Brother David?
No.
I wouldn't be shocked at that. I wouldn't be.
Wow. You also have a super chat from Truth Seeker. I don't know if you see that.
Aside from the council mentioned in Acts, are there any other councils between then and the Council of Nicaea? Council of Antioch is one of them.
Yep.
I'm sure there are others, but Antioch, which Antioch will predate even Nicaea. And Antioch is about 268 or 269, depending on how it is dated. Likely, probably 269. Let's go with the latest dating. And there at 269 or 268, 269, you have the Christological decree that condemns Paul of Samosata, who was a Christological heretic. That was even before Arius was condemned at Nicaea, even before he was condemned at Nicaea. So you got that one right there, True Seeker. True Seeker, thank you for being a phenomenal supporter, a phenomenal member. And with that, we are creaking. Oh, go ahead, brother.
One last thing.
Please.
It's what's also important with Antioch. It quotes the Deuterocanon with "It is written" in its decree.
Look at that. SoCal beat you to it. SoCal, you are a legend. And I want to add, we're about to close the doors of the dojo, but to add to that, True Seeker, I hope that was helpful, brother. Thank you again for your incredible and phenomenal support. Let me add to that by pointing out, there at Antioch, Paul of Samosata was a forerunner to Arius. If people do not know who he was, go check out shows I've done on Christology, on the Creed. I'm going to be returning and doing more on those, God willing, the coming week. At Antioch, you have the very first Old Testament creedal declaration on Christology. And the fact that they utilize the book of Sirach as Holy Writ is a massive point, a very, very important one. If you all have not checked that out yet, check it out. It might be very, very difficult to find a translation, but we got one, and you'll find it over there on Sam's blog. Guys, we think you'll love it. But with that in mind, I do not want to forget, because we got this super chat earlier, and I want to remember earlier V said that his niece's fiance was undergoing head surgery. V, please keep us up to date. We hope that you do. Let us know how that has gone. We pray that it goes well, and we want to close out with a prayer. Definitely do not only remember her, but your whole family, my friend. And with that, we'll close the doors of the dojo, and we'll do it in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. That will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women. Blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Guys, want to remember and pray again for his niece's fiance, his whole family, I want to give you guys a shout out. You guys have been incredible. Thank you so much, guys, for your incredible support. Random Catholic as well. All of you guys, we're here able to do what we do because of your support to ministry, and we are incredibly grateful. And we're back on Monday, but Gary, are you doing the chill stream tonight?
Tomorrow, 3:30, if
Tomorrow.
God wakes me up, I'm going to begin with First Clement. That's going to be fun.
My goodness. That is not going to be fun. That is going to be an explosive blast. Incredible. I can't wait for that. You guys keep an eye out. The brother Gary is doing phenomenal work in those chill streams. You guys got to tune in. We love all of you, and we will be back again soon. Talk to you all soon.